Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Love stories in the hot seat.
A very good evening to all of you, and here we are once again with the Love Talk Show, Andrea.
Talking about intelligent love. And we have a new couple here. For sure, they will share with us their love story.
You don't need to hide his name, everyone knows who
Oh,
he is.
yes. I always want to surprise them, but you opened up everything yesterday. So they will share what they've done based on intelligent love also.
Well, Gabriel and Jessica, welcome to the Love Talk Show.
Everyone, we're here, finally back. I thought, Edir, where's my camera, Edir? Oh, Edir, you don't have my... Oh, there you go. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to be back again on the Love Talk Show. We're gonna share our beautiful love story with you, and I know that there are some pretty funny things on how everything got to be, and it'll be a pleasure to be around here, Pastor.
Yes.
Well, as always on Wednesdays, we have one of our pastors here sharing their story of love and the way they overcame their problems, their obstacles, and they could succeed in this area of their lives. And Andrea, we have already someone connected with us.
Someone we have, yes, people connected with us. We have Woolwich Royals, Lydia, and we have Tara from Plasto. We have also Tobias from Woolwich, Plasto again through Hortensia. Finsbury Park, hello. We have someone new from Finsbury Park.
Hey, Gabi.
Tahego and then Gabi. Yes, we have two. Where's Finsbury Park? Connect. And Plasto and also NTH. I always forget.
Nottingham.
Nottingham, thank you so much. Hello, Nottingham. Good evening.
Well, today we are going to open our comment section for all our viewers to choose 3 questions. So you will write here questions, and we are going to choose not Gabriel, not Jessica.
Oh, no.
We are going, myself and my wife, we are going to choose 3 questions that you want to ask them. While we are going to talk here, you can type what your question is. And it's funny, Andrea, because sometimes these questions can help others.
Can help others, for sure. So share with us. You are there, you are watching us, maybe having your hot tea or cocoa, because not coffee at this time for sure. But connect with us not only by watching us, but by participating. Tell us who is connected, if you are connected here, and ask a question. Aren't you curious about Pastor Gabriel's story and Jessica? Please
I am
ask.
curious.
I am curious because I don't know your
while
story.
you are typing your question, let's watch a few moments of our love therapy that takes place on Thursdays.
The Lord Jesus says that our word has to either be yes or no. Whatever goes beyond that is of the devil. Mm-hmm. And we see many times this happens in relationships. People who are never forthcoming with the answers, with the reality. We see that happening a lot, for example, with money. Right? Where the person, even when they get married, nobody knows how much the other one makes. We've said here before, if you're dating, you started dating yesterday, you shouldn't know how much the other person makes. But once the relationship is serious, you're planning to get married, you started to plan your life together, you have to know how much the other person makes. If the person doesn't want to know, or rather, if the person doesn't want to reveal how much the other one makes or how much they make, there's usually a very bad reason behind it. Usually, not always, but usually. If the person doesn't want to say what they do for a job, what do you do for a job? Oh, I'm the usual answer. I'm an entrepreneur. Right? There was a young man who said, I work for Nestle. You know Nestle? The chocolate. So the person thought he's a salesman. He works in the factory. But he used to buy chocolates and sell at the traffic lights. Right? The cars, when they would stop for traffic, they would wind down the window, and he would sell chocolates at the traffic light. So he said, I work for Nestle. Is it true that he works for Nestle? No. One of the things that you find, and by the way, you cannot find a person who is an honest scale unless the person is godly. Because if God is inside the person and the Spirit of God is the Spirit of truth, then that person will always be truthful, will always be sincere.
Love stories in the hot seat.
So it's 10, it's 5, and I would like to remind you that tomorrow we are going to have a pastor that will be chosen by you here today. So there on the screen you have the QR code. You can scan the QR code, and then you can choose who is going to be in the hot seat tomorrow in the Love Therapy, being interviewed by Bishop James. So we have Pastor Michael Souza, we have from Peckham, we have Pastor Michelle from Wood Green, we have Pastor Wagner Feitosa from our church in Plasto, and Pastor Aaron here from Finsbury Park. So choose one of them, vote in whom you want to see tomorrow in our Love Therapy, and Bishop will be interviewing them. Well, today I'll be interviewing the couple next to me. So,
Hello.
How long are you married for?
So next month on the 13th, we're going to complete 2 years.
2 years.
Is that right, Jessica? Because sometimes they get it wrong.
Accurate.
No.
Never get it wrong. She gets it
Right.
wrong.
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah, 2 years.
There's always one.
Yeah.
2 years. We were there once.
Yeah, once upon a
We
time.
were there once. So, tell us how it was from the beginning.
Okay, so I was an assistant pastor here in the UK, single, and it was a moment in my life that I was ready to look for someone. And then, as here in the UK, we were looking, and we didn't find anyone. It was about, we just left the pandemic. It was really a challenge. And then the bishop here in the time told me about something called Quero Te Conhecer. I
Yes.
want to meet
To
you,
know
to
you.
know you.
App.
That is the singles app for the love therapy. Therefore, I became the first user ever in the UK of the app, and I can attest of the quality of the app. Because when I entered on the app, like I've never had an idea of how it would work, because we have these preconcept things with dating apps. There is usually a worldly things. There is like people they meet just for hookups and you know, one night stand. But then I was introduced to the app. It was explained to me how it worked, and I got in. And then I started seeing people there, and she was the first one actually I've gave a like to. But the thing is, after I liked her
So
on
love at the first sight.
I'll tell you why.
You
Because
have to admit it.
on my side at least. But you know why? Because today the app updated a lot. It's really different from the time I was using. And I usually said that on my time it was like a Russian roulette. Because when you liked someone, she wouldn't have a notification that I liked her.
Okay.
It would only be a match if both of you liked each other, like without any interference of anything. So I gave her a like, and there was nothing on her side. I waited. Yeah, put the cricket there, dear. And then there was nothing on my side. Silence. And then what did I do?
That's the notification, correct? You
Yeah,
received.
but I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
Because there was something I did.
Okay.
Oh.
I went on her social media and I liked all her photos.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
I followed her.
If this
I-
way, I will call her attention.
Yeah, I
Capture
put a
attention.
comment. She had a photo with her testimony. Said, "Oh, very nice testimony, sister." Da, 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 da.
She even commented.
I had one bullet, miss. I have one bullet. So then, she didn't like me back still. So I removed my like from her. Then I went to sleep.
Oh, don't do that.
No, but you know what? I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't sleep. And I've
Was
never had a
God.
sleepless night since I converted. I had insomnia in the past.
God.
What were you doing, Jessica?
And then I said, I was there, my God, it is her right. I'm not sleeping. This never happened to me. And then I gave her like, then the other day, as I had lunch,
So you liked her again.
I put the like and I went to sleep.
and then you sleep.
And then I slept.
Slept
Then I
over it.
slept all night long. And then on lunchtime the next day, I was on the phone with my brother. My brother is also a pastor in the Universal Church. We were
Pastor
chatting.
Guilherme,
Yeah,
hello.
you worked with
Where
my
was
brother. He was in Australia with you, Pastor.
Okay.
Now he is in Brazil.
Yeah.
He's also well married, and then as we were on the phone, I received. Dear, give me a drum roll. I believe on you that the drum roll is playing because I don't have a headphone.
Chun,
But
chun,
then
chun, chun.
it had this notification on my side that said, I want to know you, Gabriel Garcia do Nascimento. You have a new pretendente, contestant, I don't know, a new person that wants to know you back.
But you didn't know the name. Not
No,
yet.
but she was the only one I gave a like to, so I knew it was her.
Okay.
I was selective.
You were like,
I threw my
Before-
phone. I did like this. Oh no! And then I was with my brother. You don't believe. And then I started the long process of sending the first message. I wrote, I gave up, and then I wrote the corniest message ever. That it was super cheesy. I love the way we started. I wrote like this.
I love it as well.
Do you have make it bigger so I can read? Well, I tried to write 10 different messages here. A smiley face.
It's
So
translating at the same time.
I'm going to start with a simple hi. This was at 2:12. Oh, and by the way, it's good morning in Brazil. And then she did not reply me. It was dead silence. And then at 3 p.m. I sent another message. By the way, nice to meet you. Because she liked me back. I tried. Oh, it's nice to meet
didn't
you.
So
give
the same crickets were there.
Yeah. Then I said, you
Pastor
saw my name.
Gabriel, it was very interesting because I was reading this before.
Uh-huh.
And like 3 messages in a row. And then Jessica just replies,
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Super posh.
You know,
Yeah,
no, the
no.
woman of God, they are discreet.
Yeah.
And then I was
now,
waiting.
This is what I want to talk.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
your
Pastor.
side, how was?
Pastor, I was an assistant in Brazil, and then I was doing the love therapy seminars already, and for years, I think for more than 5 years,
More than 5 years.
more than 5 years, and it was just me in the church, just me, the pastor, and the pastor's wife.
So just the 3 of you doing the love therapy.
Yes, pastor, and changed the pastor, and it was the same, just me, the pastor, and the pastor's wife.
For
there.
5 years.
For 5 years, for
Okay.
more or less 5 years.
So, Jessica, let me just say something because
Yes,
it's
Pastor.
important.
We can't
I cannot
allow this opportunity
yeah.
to pass
Yes.
just like that.
I've heard people saying there's no one for me here.
At the
Listen to me,
church.
what could Jessica say? She was there alone with the pastor and his wife. Who was there for her?
Yeah.
Who was there for Jessica? But you know what was there? Her faith and her perseverance, her trust in God that He would fulfill His promise in her life.
She didn't give
So
up.
you kept on fighting, correct?
Yes, pastor. Yes, because like you said, was no one there for sees me. Yes, to see me. Yes, but God was there, and I was there, doing my purpose of faith, always praying, my God, you are here, and I believe.
And you wanted the
I
altar
was-
already.
Sorry.
You wanted the altar.
Yes, I was a candidate in that time, but there was a difference because I looked to my friends in other churches, in other branches, in other
Branches.
seats. There was like many people in the branch, many things happening, but in my church, never
You were
Apparently,
alone.
apparently nothing was happening.
Yes,
apparently.
For
Yes.
context, the city that she came from, like, so you can have an idea, the first time she had McDonald's was with me in the UK.
Okay.
Okay, just for a context.
because it's
Yeah.
a countryside.
So many details.
Countryside city.
Yeah.
Side,
Yeah.
side, side.
Side,
Yeah,
side, side.
all the way to the side, almost
Yeah.
falling off.
Yeah, but it was there that God was.
It was
You
that that I
see?
found my blessing. She said,
God
"You
was-
said God fulfilled the promise."
Was there working on your behalf?
It's true, Pastor. Pray for him.
Yeah.
Because I was praying, my God, you know who is the person. I don't know where he is now. You know, I never imagined that my husband would be in England or in another country. Because I was praying, my God, keep him strong. I was praying for him before.
Before you knew me.
Yeah, before I knew you, I was
See?
praying for him. And God provide because the app was present to me as well, like for him. And I was a little bit, because I was from countryside. And then I was like, okay, for
Give it a
something
try,
maybe, né?
but like,
It was by faith. My God, I'm gonna try, and you go ahead of me. And then I start in the beginning, because it was something new. The app was a little bit, how can I say?
It was buggy.
Yeah,
It was
something.
Like
yeah.
we were chatting and then I was logged out and I couldn't reply her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I cannot.
she was thinking,
I'm
she
not
was
answering.
thinking that I hang up on her.
Yeah, it was just. But before my husband liked me, I like another person, but I couldn't. The person said to me, "Oh, hi," and I was like,
rival.
"Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna answer him."
God was not confirming that.
Yes, and then I was
Adir is
praying.
laughing. I don't know why.
Of course he is.
And I was praying, my God, like my husband, but the other side, like it's not him. And then I removed the like.
Okay.
And I knew him. I was an auxiliary with him.
You
discovered after.
sometimes in this it's important to say it, Andrea. When we are in the faith and we are seeking in God for this blessing and we are trusting Him, He always guides us.
Yes, Pastor.
He gives us the direction of what we need to do, and this uncertainty comes from God, because
Yes.
was God confirming that wasn't the person for you. It was a person of God, it was a person of faith, but it was not a person of God for you.
Yeah.
Yes, Pastor.
That is very important for us.
And
to say.
yeah, it's important
And we
because
have to
people
listen,
sometimes
because sometimes God speak like a certainty or not certainty, and the person is like, oh no, but I think it's that person, but God speak to us and
Yes.
He,
Yeah.
he
Confirms
guides us.
within you.
Yes. And then I was unsure. No, I removed the like, and then my husband, when I was open the app, my husband was the first one
All
the time to appear. And then I was like, okay.
It was God doing
yeah, I got yes, it was God. It was God working
Confirming.
and confirming
Yes.
this is the one.
Yes, and then I saw his the like that he gave me all my photos in the social media.
I'm not telling you to follow my example, but it worked for me.
Yes, and then let's see, and then I put the like, and then he in the same day I think he will send me a lot of messages.
Same day. You see, I thought it was lunchtime that she gave me the like. I was with lunch in front of me. The screenshot was from 12:03. So as soon as she liked, I think it was 11:50 or something.
You started.
Start the good
You
work.
don't
And then we
waste your
start
chance.
to- And I say hi again.
And then like it was the cringiest conversation ever.
No,
we
you
spoke
know,
about the weather, about coffee.
No, I was remember this because I think a month ago Bishop was saying this in the love therapy seminar.
Yeah.
And then people,
Women pay attention because
Yes.
I can imagine what is coming here.
yes, and Bishop was saying this, and this is true because we don't know each other, and
Yeah.
then we start like,
Completely strangers.
okay, I like coffee. You like coffee?
You
yes,
like
I
the
like
cold.
coffee.
You like the you like when it's cold. You like when it's hot. What do you like? Because you ask random questions because it's a stranger. We were complete strangers to each other.
Yes.
It's part of the process to get to know
Yeah.
And
someone.
you have to be a risk
Yeah.
taker.
Yes.
You have to be. And if I
And-
didn't have the courage to push until 3 p.m., I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be here with the love of my life.
Pastor
Yeah.
Gabriel, you two, you are very different from each other, right? We have been learning that also in the love therapy.
Yes.
Who is the quiet one and the talkative one? Well, by now,
You
for
know.
sure, you've noticed that.
It's obvious.
But
Yeah.
you complement each other. That's the thing.
So how, because it's already 10:20 and
And we want to hear about everything.
yeah.
Yes.
So how long was since you
First said
decided
hi.
to get married and you propose? I don't know.
So I didn't propose. I agree. Usually, when Bishop James holds love therapy, we have nothing against proposing, nothing against, but it just is not for me. We were waiting to go ahead. We knew we wanted to get married to each other. We started on 2021. We started talking, and we've got married in 2023.
It's important to say this, Gabriel, because sometimes people, they have so many ideas and fantasies in their minds,
Yeah.
and they are fantasizing with things that are not as important as sometimes is in your mind, maybe. And the moment they started dating, they already knew what they were putting themselves in. That
Yeah.
step wasn't just a step of knowing each other. They already knew that it was more than this. And when did you get married?
So it was on the 15th of May of 2023.
15?
13th.
Oh,
Sorry, it's
no,
because
not
you
me.
got
But
you.
it's because yesterday was the 15th. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I said the 13th at the beginning of the program.
I forgive
So
you, baby.
we were here in the UK. She was here she traveled here to the UK from Brazil.
To
She
get to know you.
Yeah, we got to know each
Personally.
other.
Yes.
We went on dates. We went on the love walk. And we always had the same date every week. The same actual date, and it was lovely. We would go to Leicester Square. Every week when we would go out, it's the same thing. Leicester Square. After Leicester Square,
McDonald's.
After McDonald's,
After McDonald's coffee.
coffee or Starbucks or Greg's, depending
Sorry,
on the
was
day.
that a ritual? A
Okay.
I
thing
don't
that you
know.
did?
It just fit because we would walk up and then get the coffee and then we would go cinema. Every week.
Okay, but during this time you could know each other
Yeah,
even
we've got
more
to talk.
and better.
But even though like it was long distance for a long time and long distance has its
Oh,
perks.
we have a
Y-
question
listen,
regarding that.
we have a question.
Okay.
Yes. Then
Stop,
Lara
everything stops
from
now.
Plus 2, she left a question talking about this.
So this will be question 1.
Yeah, question 1.
We're ready.
Was dating long distance a problem? Or
That's a
would you actually consider it to have been a blessing to you?
Yeah, that's a discussion for many people, right?
Yes.
But I always say everyone that goes through long distance that it is a blessing for those who know what they want. I am a privileged man. She's a privileged woman because we've got to have this long distance relationship. Why? Because the only thing that we had for over 2 years was each other's voice.
Yes.
So we could talk so much and get to know each other so
More
much.
than weather and
More than the weather and coffee. We went deeper on subjects that
Yes.
I've got to see that her personality
Was.
complements mine.
Yeah.
I could never get married with a bubbly person because I am overly bubbly.
I know what that is, Pastor Gabriel.
So, Miss, you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like And then when I get home, I sing, I play music, I take her, I dance with her, and she's like, I want to sleep. and so
She's singing with you.
sometimes, but some days when she started, I bring her up, and when I have to calm down, she brings me to
Yeah.
the ground level.
Less.
So we
Jessica.
balance each other.
How was for you? How was dating long distance a problem? Would you actually consider it to have being a blessing to you?
Pastor, was not a problem at all.
At all.
Because like my husband said, we have a much time to speak with each other. The videochamada.
The video calls that
The
we
video
had.
calls was just once a week.
Yeah, once a week
Sometimes
we would do a
was
video call.
once 2 weeks, and was good because we can talk about it. Like, was not just about coffee
Or about the day.
The day, no, was something deep because I was wanted the work of God as well, and then I was knowing Him and the work of God because he went to Turkey as well, and then was a blessing because we knew each other. And when I came here to England, was something like, oh, we know each other for a long time, more than 2 years.
One day
And
I tried to test her when I was in Turkey. I said, look, if you have to travel here to Turkey to do
Yeah.
the work of God with me,
Yeah.
I said the pastor's wives have to wear the hijab here in the country. And then she said, I'll go. I took a photo of those clothing that cover everything. I took a photo there in the shop. I said, I'm gonna buy this one for you. And then she said, tá ligado? If I need to use, I'll use it. And that's it.
yeah,
Second question. How were you sure that knowing each other over the phone was enough to get married and live together? Because talking obviously is not the same as seeing each other in person.
This is why we did not make this decision before we've got to know each other in person.
Exactly.
We understand
It
the
comes
importance.
the moment.
Yeah.
Of course. So there was the day that I picked her up in the airport. There when
So she came here.
yeah.
Yes.
I
To
was there in
England.
the airport. I put perfume, my best clothing. I was ready, and then I said, "When you come, it's first kiss time. I don't care." When
You were
arrive,
already dating, not engaged.
yeah,
but
we were
No,
dating,
dating.
and I said, "When you come, it's first kiss time." And then she's kicking me here.
Stop saying
So,
that.
and then we've got to know each other, and after we got to, to spend more time together in person, to have the little disagreements we have, to solve problems together as everyone does. We said, okay, we can put our personalities together, we can put ourselves together and make it work, even though we are extremely different. She's from the countryside. I'm one of the biggest cities in Brazil. I grew up in an environment where there was like everything like culture and technology and things like this. São Paulo is one of the biggest metropolises there, and she had the cows in front of her house. Cows and horses, and she would there milk the cow. I don't know.
No.
There was
No,
the
no,
internet
no.
there.
Not milking the
I
cow.
was internet because I was speaking to you, baby. But you know something, Pastor, because like my husband said, the test that he did with me, we did a lot this in the phone.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in the church now. I'm going to do something in the church, like to test each other. Oh, you
Oh,
are
that's
you
nice.
are like I'm gonna say bye to you because I have something to do now.
To see how the other one would
Yes,
react.
how they
And it's not in
react
a
was-
crazy way. It's
No,
something
no, no,
healthy.
something
You're not gonna
natural.
fool the person, of course. Straight after I
No.
said, no one uses this. You can, if you come normally, or these situations. But this helped us a lot.
Was something
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you came to UK, what was your first impression of your future husband?
Like, oh,
At
what
the
have I
time.
done? It was like, oh, what have I done? Or I made the right choice.
No. When I saw
No,
him,
no, no.
Let
Oh,
us
baby,
speak, let us speak.
speak. When I saw him, because I came without English, nothing. And then when I was there in the airport, I didn't see him. I was there. Oh my gosh, where is him? Because I was alone. And then I called him, and then he said, "Oh, I'm in the way. Where are you? And then
Oh yeah, this was fun.
and then he was in the phone with me, and I heard his voice without
the
the
back.
phone from the back. And then I was, oh, hi.
I did.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. And then it was a blessing. I saw, okay, it's him.
It was truly a match.
It was truly a match.
It was.
Well, a different question. Let's do the third question as the most complicated one.
Oh my God.
Noshi asks here,
Ai.
do they have a dog or a cat?
We have each other.
Yes.
Take care of each other.
Yes, I think that's more. I need to learn how to take care of her. We don't
Well,
plan
we
to
have
have
a
a dog
picture
or
there.
cat.
You were already in the love therapy, correct?
Yes, we
Yes.
we were like she just arrived in the country like for a month or two maybe.
Yeah, we can see by your smile.
Testifying
prayed for
about
her- for us.
I want to know you app. That's the
Yes,
thing.
yes, and
Yes.
the app was a blessing in my life. Praise
So,
God.
So you are married for 2
2
years,
years.
correct?
Yes, Pastor.
Jessica, Gabriel, I would like to ask you for you to talk with those who are coming to the love therapy, those who maybe who are not coming, those who are discouraged because of what they see or they could not see until today. Please, to that camera and give your advice.
So, I think that what we saw happening to us is what many of you may be going through now. When you have the Holy Spirit, you are ready to meet someone, and maybe you don't have a perspective. But the love therapy is here for that. The Universal Church is in 147 countries, and there are people of God around the world that if they are of God and you are of God, and you're willing to put the two things together, that they work together and make it as one, then God will bless. So if you are concerned about the app, do not be as the first user and the first couple ever to get married through the app. We can attest that
Yeah.
it was a blessing to us.
Yes, it was. And like I was saying, if you are alone in your church, sometimes I know that here in England we have small branches as well outside London. But if you are alone there, believe God by faith. If you have faith, if you have purpose, God will gonna bless you as well. Because like I was saying, I was alone in my church, but I believe that God was there with me, and God is there with you as well. And believe, because by faith you can, and God can bless you as well, and one day you'll be here like us.
See?
Yes. Well, Gabriel, Jessica, thank you very much for being here with us. It was a pleasure. And I know that you are watching the program, and for sure somehow you were benefited and blessed with everything that happened here. Tomorrow we are going to have the love therapy at 8 p.m. being part of the Holy Week. And I would like to share with you, please, Edir, put there the pastor who is coming. Wow, my goodness.
He was my choice also. Yeah.
You know, the last time we had 3 with the same, exactly with the same
With a
number.
tie.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
No,
were
today was not
complete-
a tie,
no,
definitely.
Today wasn't. Please put it there. I need to let everyone know.
Oh, yes!
With 44.44% of the votes, we are going to have.
Pastor Fagner Feitosa from Plasto, Portuguese.
It was the first pastor I worked with here in the UK.
See?
So
Yeah.
he's coming tomorrow, and he will be at the love therapy at the hot seat, sharing his experience and the way he overcame any kind of obstacle or problems that came on his way. Well, may God bless you all. Tomorrow I'll see you in the love therapy at 8 p.m. Andrea, we will be
Well,
back tomorrow, also 10
Tomorrow.
p.m.
And just one last thing. Whenever someone says there's no one here for me, I will give you Jessica's phone number and she will talk to you directly.
Yes.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.